Qatar Airways is known for having one of the best business class experiences in the world. And sure, the famous QSuite gets all the hype. But here's the thing, you won't always get one. On my recent flight from Doha to Vienna, I flew in one of Qatar's most common business class seats, the Collins Aerospace Super Diamond. It's not a suite, but is it still worth the hype? I'll show you what it's really like. The best seats, the food, the comfort, and whether it still feels like a 5-star experience without the suite. Stick around because this might just be the seat you end up in. After a smooth landing from Bali, where I had just experienced the coveted QSuite for the first time, I arrived in Doha to connect to Vienna. Whenever I travel internationally, one thing I always make sure of is staying reliably connected. Not just for maps, bookings, and messaging, but also for keeping my personal data safe. That's why I use Saily, today's video sponsor. Saily offers affordable and easy-to-use eSIMs for over 200 destinations and 8 regions, including here in Qatar. With Saily, I can quickly set up mobile data without needing a local SIM card or hunting down Wi-Fi hotspots. Setting it up is simple. Just download the Saily app by scanning the QR code on the screen or visiting saily.com/pointstraveltech. Choose a plan for your destination and don't forget to use the promo code pointstraveltech for 15% off your plan. One of the features I really appreciate when traveling through different regions, like here in the Middle East, is Saily's built-in virtual location service. Access to certain websites, apps, or services can vary depending on where you are, and having that extra flexibility can make a real difference. Saily also includes web protection, helping you browse more securely, and an ad blocker that keeps ads from loading, saving you valuable mobile data. With Saily, once you've installed your eSIM, you're ready to go. No need to reinstall for future trips. Just add a new plan whenever you need it. Thanks to Saily for sponsoring this video and for making staying connected while traveling a lot easier. As business class passengers, we had access to Qatar's dedicated premium security line. From there, we made our way to the Mourjan Business Lounge. Not the main one, but the newly opened The Garden, located in the newest terminal edition dubbed The Orchard, clearly inspired by Singapore Changi's The Jewel. It's Qatar's newest lounge space, and it's absolutely stunning. Filled with natural light, lush greenery, and plenty of space to unwind between flights. Easily one of the most beautiful lounges I've visited. After a much-needed shower, we headed to the dining area, which offers both buffet and a la carte service. The menu changes based on the time of day, and I enjoyed a lovely portion of Eggs Benedict. The lounge is vast. You'll always find a good spot to sit, work, or relax. The staff were incredibly friendly. It's hard to beat Qatar's business class lounge game. When it was time to board, we left the greenery of the orchard behind and boarded a dedicated bus for business class passengers. Our Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner was parked remotely, quite far away, and the Doha midday heat was in full swing. As I make my way up the stairs, let's take a quick look at the seat map. This Dreamliner features 5 rows of business class in a 1-to-1 configuration. Row 6 only has 2 middle seats, offering ultimate privacy. And those are the seats we'll be flying in today. We were welcomed on board by the friendly crew and shown to our seats, located right by the open aircraft door. This is the Super Diamond seat by Collins Aerospace, Qatar's go-to business class layout on many of their non-QSuite aircraft, including some A350s, the 787-8, and the A380. It's not a suite, but our seat in the last row of the cabin was incredibly private. With only 2 middle seats and no one behind us, it honestly felt like our own mini cabin. Shortly after settling in, we were offered a packaged refreshing towel from luxury brand Diptyque and a glass of cold rosé champagne, which was very welcome. Because the aircraft doors had to remain open for bus boarding and the AC hadn't been turned on yet, it was hot. Sweating from doing nothing hot. The poor crew, who were dealing with it even more, were very apologetic about the situation. After takeoff, I finally noticed the individual air vents. Below the overhead bin is the touchscreen IFE. Beneath that, the tray table pulls toward you and unfolds to create a surprisingly large, sturdy surface. To my right, there's some open storage with seat controls integrated into the panel. They might look a bit old school, but they're intuitive and prevent accidental changes, a common issue with newer seat designs. The backrest and leg rest can be adjusted independently, which I really enjoy. The headphone jack and USB charger are tucked into the corner, followed by the touchscreen remote. Above that is more open storage, where a bottle of water and the smallest amenity kit I've ever received were waiting. There's also a comfy adjustable headrest, an individual reading light, and a magazine rack. It took me a while to figure out that the armrest could be moved electronically. Inside the flap, I found the noise-canceling headphones. And to the right, another small storage compartment for personal items. The footwell is nicely padded, with enough space for a small bag or shoes beneath it, and it's adequately sized. All in all, a really solid seat. Qatar is famous for its onboard dine-on-demand service, and this flight didn't disappoint. I started with a mint iced tea, served with warm nuts and a hot towel. This has become my favorite non-alcoholic drink on Qatar flights. If you prefer alcohol, you're in luck. Qatar serves both Brut and Rosé champagne in business class, something many first-class products don't offer. There's also an extensive selection of wines, cocktails, and higher-end spirits. The full range of the non-alcoholic drinks can be found in the food menu. The table was set with care and I was served a shrimp amuse-bouche, followed by a wonderful broccoli soup. I love ordering soups on planes. It's flavorful, easy to reheat, and always satisfying at 30,000 feet. As my main, I chose the incredible lobster Mourjan, easily one of the best meals I've ever had in the sky. I couldn't decide between desserts, so I went with both the fruit plate and the ice cream. The excellent meal was wrapped up with a cappuccino. Between our seats and the rest of the cabin, the crew set up a small snack station. Perfect if you want to stretch your legs, though I didn't see anyone lingering here. The lavatories included a fold-out bench for changing, had a window, and were stocked with diptyque toiletries. The facilities were kept clean throughout the flight. If you can live without a window and value privacy, especially when traveling as a couple, these seats are hard to beat. And if needed, a large privacy divider can be raised between the two seats. I set the seat into lounge mode and explored the in-flight entertainment. The touchscreen is bright, sharp, and very responsive. And without a window at my seat, there were zero glare issues. Wi-Fi is available, but Qatar remains inconsistent across routes and aircraft. On this flight, business class passengers only had access to free messaging, while on other flights, I've received a free hour and even the whole flight complimentary. Full access packages were offered, but at a pretty outrageous price, $20 for just 200 megabytes under the so-called Ultimate plan. That said, the entertainment selection was outstanding. Qatar remains one of the best airlines in the world in this department. The cute amenity kit, which I now use to store my Insta360 Go 3 camera, included an eye mask, earplugs, and socks. All other amenities were available in the lavatories. The seat converts into a fully flat bed. While Qatar doesn't offer a mattress pad or pajamas on this route, a soft blanket and 2 pillows were provided. Lowered armrests and extra padding increased the surface area and overall comfort. There was very little foot traffic, no galley noise, and only the occasional sound from the lavatory. In the end, I was really happy with this seat selection. So, what's the verdict? Even without the QSuite, Qatar Airways still delivers a top-tier business class experience. The Super Diamond seat, especially in the last row, feels private, comfortable, and thoughtfully designed. No, it's not the double bed from the QSuite flight I had just taken, but the crew on this flight was so outstanding that I actually enjoyed this journey more. Pair that with excellent food, great service, and the incredible lounge in Doha, and I was genuinely impressed. Would I fly this again? Absolutely. Qatar knows their seat offering isn't consistent across the fleet, but they're working to make the service the constant. And in my case, the crew made this lesser product even more enjoyable than the flagship one. If you want to see what my QSuite experience was like, check out this video. Until next time, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out Saily and use the promo code pointstraveltech for 15% off your next eSIM plan. Thank you so much for watching, happy travels, and see you soon.